Hello, fellow wargamers and history buffs. I have returned from Consim Expo 2025 in beautiful and mostly very hot Tempe, Arizona. And as what usually happens when I am there, I have some ideas or I see some cool things that are like game gadgets that I wanted to share. So first off, when I'm doing my Lapatai games here at home, I've got just one of the standard old counter trays that I keep all the informational markers in. And this works fine. It's just, when I'm working one or two maps and it's just myself and Jim playing. But I knew that I was going to be hosting a big game of Mont Saint Jean, and I would need to have counters not only on my side of the map, but also over on the other side of the map for the other guys. We had a big 6-player game. So I had purchased in advance these little these little trays for items. So they've got a very nice lid that fits on very tight, so I could transport these and turn them upside down and not have to worry about anything getting lost. They also have them in ones where it's split, so you've got on one side, one set of counters or the other, and then it's got this, and then if you have the top on it, even if you turn it whatever else, you're not going to mix them up. So these were very nice, and I just got these on Amazon. They are from a company, let's see if I can find it here, called X Trays. And there's a whole bunch of different options out there in the universe, but these ones I really liked because they held everything nice and snug, and then what's even better yet is you can stack them up on top of each other, so that way then for packing and transport it works out pretty well too. Now this next item is something that one of the fellows playing with us had brought to share. These are little coin holders. He is a numismatist, that is, he collects coins, and what he brought them for was for us to use it to hold our chits for the chit pull. So for Labatai, particularly if you're playing with one of the ones that has the command control system, you will be drawing chits from a cup. And this fella said that when he's playing games where you have the chits, you just put the little chits inside the little coin holders. These are about the size to hold a U.S. penny. And then they're not going to get grubby. People have their little fingers sticky with whatever they've been nibbling on or whatnot, and then you can then go ahead and draw it. So the counter's not going to get smudged or damaged over time, and instead you've got these. So we use these. They were really very nice. It certainly made it easier. Sometimes the little cardboard chits will stick together, or if when you're reaching into a cup, it's hard to try to find them. This made it much easier for us to grab the chits and pull it. So these are little penny-sized coin holders, and they just kind of pop open on one side. Let's see if I can do that here. Yep, they just kind of open up like that, and then you just put your counter in, and then you snap it back together, and voila, you're good to go. Now, the next item is something that one of the fellows, Robert Mizinski, had put together for keeping track of artillery. Oftentimes in Labatai, you've got your artillery wagons or your artillery ammunition marked off, and you're using the same incremental markers that you would use if you were taking casualties. And the problem with that might be that you aren't sure. You put down a 1 or 2 counter and you're not sure, okay, is that my ammunition or what it is? So he created these counters, and you can then basically print it out on a piece of Avery label, and then you can go ahead, take these, and then just stick them to the back of a counter sheet, and basically make your own counters for keeping track of ammunition. So I will have the PDF for this available. I will have a link to where you can find it posted, so then you can print this out and make your own ammunition markers. I kind of like it because it's got that circle, so it looks considerably different than the regular ones, and of course it kind of looks like a little cannonball. Last but not least, Robert had put together a calculation sheet for keeping track of your melee values. And this is just a sample. If you have a 7 increment counter and you've taken losses, you're going to go ahead and you're going to find what was your original value. So say, for example, this was some sort of a cavalry unit, right? And it had a 26 melee value. After your first loss, you're down to 22.3. And when you're down to just 5 increments after having 2 losses, you're down to 18.6. So what you do is you're just going to look up, he's got these created for basically a counter that's as small as 7 increments all the way out to 20 increments. And you're just going to say, okay, this was what it is, 7 increments, and this was its melee value, and it's taken 2 hits, so it's now got a value of 15, right? And so it just makes it really handy. Instead of getting out your calculator and starting to type stuff in, you can just look this up and have it as a reference. So I will have a link to these also available in the description of the video below. Well, everybody, that's a quick look at some of the items of gamer goodies from the Consim Expo. I'll have a link in the description for where you can find those player aids and download those for your own games of La Bataille. If you like this, go ahead and click the like button and make sure you've subscribed. And popping up somewhere here on the screen shortly will be a link to the after action report for the La Bataille de Mont Saint-Jean game that we conducted out there during the full week. So check that out. And until our next episode, be well.